So, hi Miga, I am Mary Christ Soon, a Bachelor of Secondary Education student of University of Cebu, Banilad Campus. So, one of my academic courses is English 005 or Language, Culture, and Society under Mr. Nino Ardiza. So, today my friend and I will have a reaction video about the cultural challenges with brought about by language and gender. Tapos, gipakusgan mo noon. Okay, so my guest for today is Miss Ilaika Faith Nainge. She is also a Bachelor of Secondary Education student in UC Main campus. And she is 19 years old. So, thank you Miga for your time karon. So, kadiyo tra ni Miga ha. Wait sa Miga.
Palimot sa tingin ni ko.
Wait sa. Makakita ra ba ka Miga? Wait sa Miga ha.
My mother started as a first-year student at the University of North Carolina in 1972. That would not have been possible had she been born just a few years earlier.
Nasa ba Jud?
For most
Wait
of
sa.
its history, UNC was an exclusively male institution.
Miga, 9 minutes ra ni Miga. Wait sa Miga ha.
And while we've come
Rani.
an incredible
Okay, wait sa.
long
Ako
way
ibalik.
from there,
Ha?
sexism is still
Miga?
Share screen.
Kuan Miga, kung mag-share screen ko kay kanang dili man maapil ang kuan audio.
Sige.
Wait sa. Ay kanang ako lang i-kuan nimo Miga niya. Wait sa. Try daw kung makadungog ba ka Miga.
alive and well.
Wait sa.
Indeed, it's living in our language.
Sige sige.
Hindi makita.
My mother started as a first-year student at the University of North Carolina
Wait sa
in
ha.
1972.
Nakadungog ra ka Miga?
Omega, ikaw ni mong cam ka na.
Ako lang yan na ha. Wait sa.
Kuan daw. Aka na lang ka.
Maklara ra Miga, nagkuan ra man ni siya Miga, nagbarog. Wait sa ako sang ibutang ang cellphone. This time magsaba ha. Dali, 1, 2, 3.
My mother started as a first-year student at the University of North Carolina in 1972. That would not have been possible had she been born just a few years earlier. For most of its history, UNC was an exclusively male institution, like many universities. And while we've come an incredible long way from there, sexism is still alive and well. Indeed, it's living in our language. Now, I'm not talking about words that were designed to denigrate women. Bitch, whore, slut. I'm talking about seemingly innocent words. Words that we hear every day. Perhaps we even speak them. Mankind. Man-made, or popular here at Stanford, chairman, fellow. Male-centered words are everywhere. We're taught that all men are created equal. We man tables and use our man power to elect congressmen who rule in man-made institutions. Oh man! We laugh. But I'm really concerned with these associations due to our unconscious beliefs. How does the perpetual association of male terms with power and with strength and female terms with insult and with weakness shape our expectations for men and for women, our expectations of ourselves, or even our self-worth? Children can help us understand just how powerful language can be. My niece Ella is 5 years old. She has 3 older brothers, and I was babysitting for them. And so I asked them, what do you guys want to do tonight? Ella was silent. A little later, as I was tucking her into bed, she looked up to me and she said, Uncle Win, how come you only wanted to know what the guys wanted to do? Why didn't you care about me? My heart sank. Of course I wanted to hear what she had to say. I love Ella's opinion. Sometimes I love Ella the most. I had never meant to suggest that she didn't matter. But that's exactly what I had done through my words. And thank goodness she said something to me. When I had said you guys to her, she took me literally. And quite logically, she felt left out. How often had she felt that way before? How many of you have ever felt that way before? Excluded by language, even if you knew that that wasn't the speaker's intention. Male-centered words are everywhere. When you flip the words around, how many men do you know that feel flattered to be called a woman? Douglas Hofstadter is a philosopher, and what he does is he replaces in a satire male-based generic words with race-based ones. Mankind becomes white kind. Freshman becomes fresh white. Chairman becomes chair white. And in this imaginary world, it becomes pretty ridiculous that we would ever expect people of color to feel included by these terms, or that these terms wouldn't have real and lasting consequences, things that reflect a pretty gruesome history. But that's exactly what we do. It's what we do to women, and it's what I did to Ella. Of course, some women and many women do feel included by these terms, and that's entirely understandable. Women who become congressmen, for example, work incredibly hard to get where they are. They overcome enormous obstacles. They earn the title. When women don't feel included, I've heard them speak up. And then I've watched the eye rolls. I've listened as they get labeled high maintenance, overly sensitive, or much worse. When we use male words or female words to insult women, we communicate a pretty disturbing message. And we communicate the same disturbing message when we use only positive words with male terms. Sociologist Cheryl Kleiman explains that when you use chairman for women, yes, a particular woman can become a chairman, but women as a group cannot. Chairman sets the expectation that chairmen are men. And when a woman achieves that title, she's merely an exception. Never the rule, rarely the expectation. When we use male-based generics, we erase women linguistically. Symbolically, we annihilate them. Now, there's a visionary who I love, Marilyn Frye, and she imagines all of this gender inequality as essentially a bird cage that traps women inside. There are many, many wires to the cage. One wire is the wage gap. Another wire is sexual harassment. Another one is men's violence against women and their sexist English. The point here is that there are many, many wires. And these wires, no wire by itself traps the bird inside. It's all of the wires working together in combination that creates a prison. We can break that prison. With so many wires, I often get asked, why focus on language? Aren't there other wires that are more important? Let me be clear. Every wire is important. Every wire deserves to be broken. And every wire that we break creates a new opening. I like to single out sexist language for 3 reasons. The first reason is that everyone has the power to break this wire. It's entirely within our control. Each of us decides constantly what words we're going to say, what we're going to type in a text message, put in an email, what language displays on our websites or goes in official publications that we put up there. Language is a choice that we make constantly. It's our choice. The second reason is that we can break this wire right now. You don't have to wait. It's so much easier to start saying you all today than it is to close the wage gap tomorrow. So of course we should do that too. The third reason is that gender inclusive language is inclusive of everyone, even men. It doesn't harm anyone when you switch to inclusive terms. Instead, it proactively signals your commitment to women. And what more powerful message to send? I want to acknowledge that while this solution is really simple, that doesn't make it easy. Male-dominated words are everywhere. They're deeply embedded in our culture. Getting rid of them requires intention. It requires unlearning. It requires a community to hold one another accountable. So let's do this together. Let's stop using gendered words and replace them with gender-neutral options. Freshman becomes first-year student. Chairman becomes chair. Arbuckle fellow becomes Arbuckle coach or scholar or leader. You guys becomes you all. Or if you're like me from the South, y'all. Language is a tool of thought. It's a tool for building community, and it's a tool for breaking bird cages. Each of us has the power to create the world that we want to be in. So do we want a language that reflects our history of excluding and diminishing women? No. Do we prefer a language that aspires towards something much more inclusive for our future, for our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our nieces? Your decision to become a gender-savvy speaker is a decision to build this world, a world that takes women seriously. Cyril Kleiman teaches that inclusive language is the resource that each of us has at the tip of our tongues. Let's start tasting its freedom today. Thank you.
Miga.
Yeah.
So, mo to si Kuan Miga. Ang speaker is kanang si Kuan Win Chesson. So, ang iyahang topic is kanang all about why gender inclusive language matters. Nakadungog ra ka to Miga.
Okay, kung kapaminaw mo sa pa kayo.
Nagdilang ga. Nakoy kanang Kuan Miga. Kanang unsay imong what is your reaction Miga about the video?
As I watched the video that you shared earlier, I realized a lot of things, and that is that instead of using offensive word that usually referred to as a man, we should start into a new one to welcome like English ni Miga. English ni.
Oh.
Prepared ka?
Oh, okay ra.
Ay sa balik.
Sige.
Tugod na. As I watched the video that you shared earlier, I realized a lot of things, and that thing is that instead of using a language that referred to as a boy or a man, we should find another one or alternative one to include girls.
Gimiga. So Kuan Miga kanang another question kanang do you agree with the speaker Miga that gender inclusivity matters?
Yeah.
Why man Miga? Kuan ang tota niya kanang gender inclusivity, like for example ato yang example nga kato yung niece nga si kanang Ella kato ba, di ba? Ato nangutana siya nga aw na kanang nato siya yung mga niece ba na boy niya nasay aw na yung mga lalaki nasay babae mo to si Ella niya na siya nga what do you guys want to do? So ang nihilom si Ella kay iyang literal nga pagsabot ba sa guys kay so sa lalaki ra jud siya, so meaning ana ang kuan siya kanang more siya naka-feel siya nga excluded siya, bawa siya ilabot kay guys may mo giingon sa kuan sa kato ni kuan ni Win. So mo toy kuan miga kanang naay daghan nga words ba nga makapa kuan bitaw kanang kuan sa, di ba pare ato nga ang lalaki ray kuan literal niya kasabot ba nga ang lalaki ray kuan kanang gipangutana atong kuan when ni Win kay kuan guys baya, so kung guy kay lalaki.
Yes.
Nakagets ra ka? Sige.
Ayan sa tayo question.
Kuan, do you agree with the speaker?
As I watched the video, honestly, I totally agree with the statement of the speaker because as a girl, I also feel offended when someone tells me, guys, do you want to do something? So instead of saying guys, why can't we just create someone that also include girls or other gender?
Okay. Kuan miga kanang last it's kapalaing question. Kuan miga kanang mangutana ta ko ganang what are kanang unforgettable kuan ba statements ato niya. Like for example kanang yana siya nga language is a choice. Para ba statement sa speaker. Pero
Kira, iingon ni Ella nga kanang dili siya appeal ka guys sa iyang ikuan.
ay kuan man tumiga kanang gi-example ra to sa speaker ba kay para maka-get sa iyang point sa iyang video. Kuan lang kanang wait sa maguna sa question mika. Last na lang jud nga question. Kao na ta. Kanang as a for example miga kita sa woman kanang nasay kanang uban nga language nga maka kuan sad ba maka feel sad ang uban nga men ba murag bali bitaw maka feel sad ang uban nga men nga na excluded sad sila ba. Nakagets ra ka sa question miga?
Wala pa ko kay sabak ayo.
Akong balik ka na kanang nasa kanang di ba kita women, so kanang nasad bay uban nga language nga maka kuan sad sa men ba nga excluded sila parehatong Ella ilang example katong kay Ella ba pero bali siya like kanang sa men ba.
Wait, amiga.
Gilaban.
Miga balik sa rabot bigot ka.
Sige. Ako lang miga lahi na lang ang question kanang sa imuhang kuan miga kanang own opinion kanang why is kanang unsay importante sa kanang nganong importante ang gender inclusivity.
As a woman, I see that gender inclusivity is really vital in our life as a human being because when we implement when we say gender inclusivity, it is the language that make a woman. It is the language that make a woman excluded. So in order to cut that, we should find some languages that to be that it will be used to everyone.
Okay. So kanang thank you so much Miga for your time and for your kanang cooperation. So kanang I hope kanang you have a great night ahead and God bless. Thank you Miga.
Bye, thank you, Mika.
Di mo siya nabalik kayan mo.